Hey everybody, it's Mr. Griffin. Hope everybody's doing well. I miss you guys. Uh, Looks like we're going to be out for the rest of the year, so I will be doing instruction primarily through videos like this. And also we can meet on Google Meets, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. Hopefully I'll figure that out soon, so stay tuned on that. But I wanted to create a couple of videos to show you how to make your Google Slides presentation. That's your first assignment, um, first virtual assignment or online assignment. And so this is part one of that video. So what I need you guys to do is open up your Google Drive. It should look something kind of like this with a bunch of folders. And then go into the folder for your class. So if you have me period 2, go into your period 2. If you have me period 4, go into your period 4. So once you click inside your folder, you should have a bunch of stuff in there from our class, like your notes and stuff like that. What I want you to do first is I want you to create a new, go up to new, that little thing in the corner, and go down to that yellow icon that says Google Slides, and it's got yellow. Click on that. It'll create a brand new presentation. The very first thing you need to do when you open a presentation is name it. But before I show you how to do that, go to Google Classroom. And your Google Classroom should look like something like this if you're in my period 2. If you're in my period 4, it doesn't look much different. It looks exactly the same as this. I need you to go to the stream up top. If you go to the stream, that's the stuff that I sent out to everybody. If you go down a little bit, you'll see I had posted the instructions for how to create your Google Slides. So go there. It says, so here are the instructions for your Google Slides presentation. Go ahead and click on that. Once you click on that, it's going to give you some instructions. And the step one for the instructions is to just choose a virus. So out of these right here, you need to choose one of them. Try not to have it. I hope everybody doesn't choose coronavirus. I know it seems appropriate considering what's going on right now. But hopefully you guys will kind of choose something maybe that you normally wouldn't choose, because these are all pretty interesting. So just choose one of these. I chose the Epstein-Barr virus for my example. If you notice, it's not on this list because I don't want you guys copying my presentation word for word. So not that you guys would do that, but I want you guys to choose your own virus. So only choose from this list right here. Once you've chose your virus, you can go back to that that untitled presentation that you already opened in your folder, and go ahead and name it the virus that you chose. So I'm going to write Epstein-Barr virus because I chose the Epstein-Barr virus presentation. You guys can write AIDS virus or Ebola virus or coronavirus or flu virus, whichever virus you chose, and then hit enter. Once you do that, I want you guys to change the layout. Make sure that your one slide that's open over here on the left, that you click on that so it's highlighted. Okay, once you do that, what that means is that now whatever changes you make will occur on every single slide that you make in the future. So I need you to click on that, and then I need you to hit layout. Once you click layout, go over to title and body. Click on title and body. I want everyone to use title and body, and the reason is because I don't want a bunch of different slides presentations with all these wacky layouts that are hard to understand. Title and body is pretty straightforward and easy to look at. So it gives you a square right here for your title and a big square for your information. You can change the sizes of these squares. If you notice when I click on them, they highlight in blue. Go ahead and click on the title, the top one, and you can make it a little wider if you want. If you want your font to be bigger, I like my font to be a little bit bigger for my title. Once I've got it to the size I wanted, I'm going to type in the name of my presentation, which is Epstein-Barr virus. You guys will have the name of your virus in there. It's going to be different from mine. You can highlight it like that, which I just clicked on the end of it and held down my mouse, or on your guys' tracking pad, you just click and hold down on it, and then you slide it over it and it highlights. When you go to the top, up here, you can change the font. You see where it says Arial? Click on that, and a bunch of different fonts will happen. Don't choose anything too crazy that's hard for me to read. Try to choose something that's pretty simple, but choose something different so it's not so boring. I'll just take this one. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to keep it highlighted because I'm going to bold it. And I suggest you bold all your titles so that way they're easy to see. So once you're done with that, you can put it in the center of the box by clicking on, see where these lines are, and it's got a down arrow. If you hover over it without clicking on it, it says align, Align, align. Click on that, and then you go to the one that's in the center. If you just hover it over, it'll say center, and that'll put it in the center for you. All right? So once it's in the center, you're good there. Or you could leave it highlighted and make it bigger, which I'll probably do. So make it 48. It's nice and big. I can see it really good. There's my title. Now for my information, I'm not going to go there quite yet. What I am going to do is I'm going to change the color of my slide so it's not so boring and white. I'm going to click back over here on the left on my slide, and I'm going to go to background right here. Click on background. If you go over here to color, click on that. You can choose a color, but don't choose anything super dark because then you won't be able to see very well. So choose one of these lighter colors up the top. Choose this purple here. And then before you hit done, it's important that you hit add to theme, because when you click add to theme, it's going to make all your slides the same color. All right, so that way you don't have to go in and change the color every single time. So click add to theme and then hit done. Now when I create a new slide, if I go up here and the way that you create a new slide is hitting this plus sign up here, click that. I have a new slide. It's purple. Okay. It's obviously going to have a different title. I'll show you my example here in a second. But first, let's look back at those directions that I gave you. So I'm going to go back to my directions. And after you chose a virus and you've already created your Google Slides and you put your title in, you need to look down here and you need to see what each slide must have. Okay? But first, let me pull up my example. And I put that example, put that example on your Google Classroom stream. It's right underneath where the directions are. If you click on it, some of you may have already looked at it. But if you click on that, my example comes up. All right, my Epstein-Barr virus presentation. So if you look, it has all the things that you need to have. So let's go back to the directions. The directions say you need to have, each slide must have at least 3 bullet points. What's a bullet point? Well, look at my example. A bullet point is, well, you know what? It says each slide must have it. The only slide that's not going to have it is the slide with your video on it and your title. Okay, this is your title slide. It doesn't have any information on it except for the name of your presentation. But all of your information slides, which are slide 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and however you want to arrange it, must have at least 3 bullet points. Bullet points are these black dots, okay? I'm going to explain later on in another video how to make those, but I just want you to know that you need to have at least 3 pieces, separate pieces of information. And those separate pieces of information are separated by bullet points. So on this first slide, I have 4. You guys can have 4 or 5, but you need to have at least 3. So look at all my information slides. They each have at least 3 black dots, bullet points, okay? See? 3, 3, 3. All right? You get the idea. Okay, at least 3 bullet points. Each slide must have at least 1 picture. All right? Go back to my example. If you look, all my slides have pictures. All right? Don't put, 50 pictures on a slide. I know you guys know, but don't get too busy because it's hard to read the information. But each slide must have at least 1 picture. You can put 2 if you want, maybe even 3 if they're small. Each slide also must have a title. All right, so if you look at my slides, they each have a title at the top, right? The first slide is just the name of your presentation. Second one is a brief history. Now, guys, I'm going to let you use my titles. Obviously not the first one because it says Epstein-Barr virus. You guys are going to choose your own virus. But the other titles you can use, all right? A brief history. I think they're good titles, and it helps guide you in your presentation and finding the information. So just go ahead and use my titles. So your second slide, you can just put my title in there, a brief history. And then the next title was, how does it affect the human body? And again, I'll go through all these titles when I show you, when I start making the presentation on the following videos. All right. This next one says, each slide must have information in your own words. That's really important, guys. You cannot cut and paste, okay? So please, I'm not saying you're going to do it, but many of you have in the past, some of you, I shouldn't say many of you, but some of you in the past have cut and paste on some of your assignments. And guys, I got to tell you, it's really obvious when you do it. I can tell, okay? I can tell the difference between your writing and the writing of a scientist from an academic journal or something, you know? So please don't cut and paste, okay? Put them in your own words. It's really simple to put things into your own words, okay? It can be very basic. Just make a few changes to it so it's not the same exact thing, all right? And I'll go into detail further on how to do that. You'll lose points if you cut and paste. So that's what every slide must have. I'll go into more detail on the next video on what, before I leave, let me just tell you that your whole entire presentation must have at least one video, okay? So if you look at mine, I've got a video here, and I'll show you how to put that in on the next video. You must have at least 8 slides total. You can have more, but you cannot have less than 8. I have 8, okay? If you follow my titles up here, you will have 8 too, all right? And you finally, each presentation must have one reference slide. And if for those of you who don't know what a reference is where you get your information. Most of you will find your information online, and so that's fine. If you happen to have a book, like a science and biology book at home, and you're getting information out of that, you can list that too. But most of you, there'll be internet sites. You must have at least 3. So look at this right here. It says you have to have 3 references. If you look at my example, I've got my reference slide there. I have 3. You guys can use some of my references, but if you only use my references, then I'm going to mark you down. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to go to these 3 sites that Mr. Griffin went to, and that's it. You need to come up with some of your own references, all right? So you have to have 3 of your own. Okay, we'll get into more detail on the next video on how to build your slides presentation. Okay, I hope you all are well, and I'll see you next time.